This week in another important thing no one seems to care about. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange announced an effort to raise $100,000 to entice hackers and whistleblowers to release the details of the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade deal, a move that highlights the trouble opponents of the deal have had in getting people to pay attention to the issue. Is this really what it's come to? We have to bribe people to give a shit? I mean, remember the good old days when folks like Edward Snowden, Daniel Ellsberg, and the North Koreans would leak documents simply for the love of the game? And it's not like pulling the curtain back on TPP isn't a good thing. I mean, it is totally hack-worthy, at least based on what we know about it, which admittedly isn't a whole hell of a lot since the Hello? Hello? Yes, we are live and we're still going to go because I'm telling you, the negotiations are classified. Yes. But we do know this. It's a free trade agreement. And past free trade agreements have followed a depressingly consistent pattern. Proponents always promise job gains, but frequently deliver job losses. For instance, if you remember in 1993, President Clinton said that NAFTA would create 1 million jobs in its first 5 years. Today, it's estimated that 700,000 U.S. jobs have actually been lost because of the agreement. Remember that giant sucking sound that Ross Perot warned us about with NAFTA? Well, that agreement only covered Mexico and Canada. TPP affects 40% of the global economy. So the TPP sucking sound would be like, let's say, if every agent in Hollywood all snorted a line of coke at exactly the same moment. That's what it would sound like. I'm hearing it actually right now. We're not that far. Then there's the way that TPP would allow big multinational corporations to completely bypass our judicial system. See, under the agreement, if a government passes a law that protects its citizens but costs a corporation money, that corporation can sue for lost profits. And the case wouldn't be heard by independent judges, but by a panel of corporate lawyers. And we all know how much they care about the public good. Now listen to this. If the company wins, the ruling can't even be challenged in a U.S. court, and American taxpayers, we could be required to cough up millions or even billions of dollars in damages. Listen, I get it. I know America's courts are far from perfect. But if you think international bodies are any less fucked up, I've got one acronym for you. FIFA! And of course, it's hard to feel comfortable with a deal that's being negotiated in secret. In fact, to hear the details of this deal, you've got to be a member of Congress. And if you want to actually read the text, you've got to go to a room in the bowels of the Capitol Visitor Center, and you get one section at a time handed to you, and somebody watches over you as you read. I mean, it's more closely chaperoned than my junior prom. All right, Seekoff, no hips, no hips. And no matter what, you absolutely, positively cannot discuss the details of what you've read. I mean, this isn't a trade agreement. It's a Brad Pitt movie.
You do not talk about Fight Club.
These are just some of the reasons that politicians on both sides of the aisle have been sounding the alarm about TPP.
People have told me, well, we can't make this public because if we made it public and the American people saw what was in this trade deal, they would be opposed to it.
We need to look at what we're doing, because some of the trade deals in the past haven't worked out so well.
Millions of job losses, but yet they're going to try the same thing again and hope for a different result. That's insanity.
What exactly is in this agreement?
Corporate America has said we want these trade policies, and the leaders of both political parties have said, yeah, that's what we will do.
Then that's not free trade.
Yeah, that's what we will do. When Mike Huckabee and Bernie Sanders join forces, you know that you are either talking about a really shitty trade deal or a wacky new buddy comedy. Aisle crossers. The one thing they hate more than each other is TPP. But the American people still haven't cared. So thinking that the issue might be too wonky, independent groups have gone into overdrive, trying to rally the troops by making the TPP more accessible and, you know, fun.
The biggest threat to the internet you've probably never heard of.
President Obama says it's good for everyone. But why are he and other leaders keeping it under lock and key?
In other words, it's a Trojan horse in a global race to the bottom.
TPP is being negotiated in secret through a series of backroom deals that shut out the public.
And if Congress gets fast-track approval, you're going to hear a new giant sucking sound.
In return for eliminating the tariff on minute genes, TPP countries like Vietnam would have to open their markets.
No nation state can impose any regulation on a corporation that prevents its ability to make money.
And even folks like this guy have given it a shot.
TPP will make Jewish Wall Street and the corporations they control masters of the world.
I never said that some of the arguments against TPP weren't batshit crazy. Now, what I think they should do is get naughty by nature and remake that song, you know? I'm down with TPP. Yeah, you know me. No? Not working for you? Okay, we'll get Treach to do it. It'll be much better. Now, to be fair, all these efforts haven't been completely in vain. Yeah, interest in TPP has gone from utterly off the radar to a fringe issue that occasionally pops up on my Facebook feed, posted by that guy I knew in high school who always votes for the Green Party. Which brings us back to WikiLeaks, trying to crowdfund a $100,000 reward. The thinking apparently being if we can't get people to actually care, maybe we can throw some money at them. You know, make it rain, WikiLeaks. But I don't know. I'm not sure even 100K is going to do the trick. But maybe, just maybe, this fun fact will. Passage of the bill may hinge on the United States defending slavery. Yeah, that's right, slavery. You see, due to a procedural error, an anti-slavery provision accidentally made its way into the version of the bill approved by the Senate. Now, this provision would prevent Malaysia, a country with an absolutely horrific track record on forced labor and human trafficking, from being part of the deal, which apparently is not acceptable because Malaysia includes the Malacca Straits, a vital shipping lane we don't want the Chinese to control. Although we've already allowed them to buy up half of Beverly Hills, so I don't know what the problem is. So now, the White House is counting on House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Paul Ryan to remove the anti-slavery amendment and get TPP back on the fast track. Now, I want you just to chew on that for a second. America's allegedly socialist president is teaming up with a Koch brothers-backed GOP darling to throw slaves under the bus in order to pass TPP. I mean, come on, Mr. Obama. Your legacy was looking so good. You know, you were the healthcare reform president, the immigration reform president, the new vacation options on the sunny shores of Cuba president. Your second term is when you're supposed to cement your progressive reputation, not stake your claim as the, hey, I'm okay with slavery guy. I'm down with TPP. Hey, thanks for watching.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click here for more videos.
And make sure to catch new episodes Friday at 9 p.m. on HuffingtonPost.com.